So, good morning, Anmol.
Morning, sir.
Are you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, today we will talk about your life, how you spent your life till date.
Yes, sir.
Feel free to talk to me and remain comfortable.
Yes, sir.
So, Anmol, tell me something about yourself, about your family, the place you are coming from, and I'm also interested in knowing about your schooling, starting from 8th class.
Yes, sir. So, I'm Anmol Jodi. I come from Allahabad. The city is also known as Prayagraj. It's a very famous city. It has a historical importance. So, I live in a family of 4 members: me, my elder sister, my mother, and father. So, my educational background from class 8 was from the same school, Tagore School, Allahabad. I scored 70% in my 8th class. In 9th class, I was approximately 70%, and I increased my score up to 86% in my class 10th. Sir, I have chosen then PCM Physics, Chemistry, Maths, and I have scored 69.72% in my 12th.
And what about graduation then?
So I also choose the same subject, Physics, Chemistry, and Maths. I have done Physics, Chemistry, Maths BSc from Your Ncc College, Allahabad, and I have scored 52.72% in my graduation.
Right. So, Anmol, you had enjoyed 2 types of life, your college life as well as your school life.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm interested in knowing which life you had enjoyed more.
So I have enjoyed more the college life. Actually, I was exposed to most of the new things like NCC, co-curricular activities, tourism activities, and some management related to it. So it was wonderful life of my in 3 years, sir.
Okay. So when you look back to your school days, which was your favorite subject? Why it was your favorite subject? Was there any subject which failed to get generate interest in you?
Sir, in my school life, it was also a wonderful life. I developed many more qualities there. My favorite subject was physics because the teacher was very fantastic. He taught us very nice concepts, and I was very interested in physics. And sir, I lost my interest in maths somewhat because I interpreted this that it improves our logical and reasoning ability, but though I was not very good at that, so somewhat I was lightly pushed back from that subject.
Okay, and how was your relation with your teachers?
So it was
Who was your favorite teacher? What all qualities you appreciate in him or her? What was the reason behind that? And was there any teacher with whom you never generated a better relation, or you wanted to build up a better relation but you failed to do so? What was the reason behind that?
So I made a very good bond with one of my teacher. She was teaching us psychology in class 12th. She was very concentrated, especially on me and every student she taught, because she was doing her masters from psychology in Jamia Islamia. So she was very passionate about teaching, and so she gave special concern to the students who were lacking somewhere, and she taught very well. So she was very organized in her teaching skills. She had a very good public speaking skills. She was very nice, understanding, and was patiently listening every time we have any problems with her. Sir, I faced a problem with one of the teacher. She was teaching her chemistry, but mostly what happens that when in class, she took our games period, or she took our gaps period. So I was bit hesitated when I take class of her, because she was all of the way explaining things in my free times.
Right. Now tell me something about your family in detail, what your father is doing, how much your mother is educated, what she is doing at present. Do you have any sibling, what they are doing at present, what about their education, what is their interest? Tell me something about your family now.
Sir, my father is an advocate. He practiced in Kaushambi, Sarathu, and sir, he is a person I admire very much, because he is honest and very punctual to his work. He is a workaholic person, and he never delays his work. So my mother is an NGO trainer, state level trainer. She visits most of the places in Uttar Pradesh. I help her a lot in her activities. I share a very nice bond with my mother, because I mostly talk to her, chit chat, and I share most of my incidents with her on my daily life. So my sister is doing LLM from Savitribai Phule University, Pune, and she is doing her postgraduate now. So I talk about her about the daily level administration and daily talk that we see in the news that are going on.
Okay, so your father is an advocate.
Yes, sir.
Your sister is pursuing LLM, again in the field of advocacy. Why you hadn't select this field?
Sir, this is a very obvious question, sir. But this has happened to me that I've also thought of this option, but I was more interested in armed forces. I see a very different life there. I had a past that my maternal grandfather was in Air Force, so I got very motivated by his spirit of living life. I also admired him, so I want to live a life like him. So that's why I want to join the Air Force, armed forces.
Okay. And your mother is an NGO trainer.
Yes, sir.
So what all NGOs she is working with? How many NGOs you have trained till date?
Sir, she is mostly involved in her work throughout the months. She goes like 5 days, 6 days training. Currently, she is in the training in Sultanpur, sir. She works in the special sector like IPCB and SISD, that is institution building, institution capacity building. Sir, it's when there are direct scheme from governments, then the people are there who has to take the schemes to the ground level. She trains the people like Asha Bahus and Samusakis. She tries to build the group and motivate them for the work. Sure, sir, she is currently working with NRLM, and which is a joint associate with governments.
Okay. And when you were telling me about your school days, your favorite teacher was your psychology teacher.
Yes, sir.
So you were a science student.
Yes, sir.
How the psychology was part of a science student?
Sir, I was very interested in knowing things about and knowing the different personalities. I think, sir, when my elder sister chose this subject, I was very much interested in her growth and knowing people. And she was always observant about people around. So I thought this subject would be very nice if I choose it with science, because that would be different and I would get a different realm of the society.
So there were three major subjects: physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Apart from this, you had option of selecting some optional subjects. So what all optional subjects apart from psychology you had selected?
Sir, the majorly we have got only one option to select, like physics, chemistry, maths, English were the main common subjects we have to choose anyhow. And then we have optional subject, that is fifth subject. I had option of psychology, physical studies, and CS, computer science, and IP, information practices. But I chose psychology because it was very beneficial for me to know the personalities, as I was very interested in it.
How much marks you had scored in psychology in 12th class?
So I scored 85% out of 100 in psychology.
Okay. But when I was looking your PIQ form, you scored 86% when you were in 10th. Then your performance was fallen down to 69.8% in 12th. Your performance was further fallen down to 52% when you passed your graduation. What was the reason behind this consistent downfall of your academic performance?
Yes, sir, this has been happened because after 10th I chose physics, chemistry, maths, and I scored all the well in all four subjects. But maths was weak, so I scored much less in maths, so my percentage was really going down. So, but in graduation, I thought I was not involved in co-curricular activities as much, so I tried to increase my involvement, and I chose NCC. I did co-curricular activities. I was also part of managing farewell and freshers. I also did marketing, so that was also a part of it that I could not consider more on academics. Sir.
Okay. And when you were telling the Anmol that mathematics was a subject which never generated interest in you,
Yes.
you scored less in mathematics even. Then why you had selected mathematics as a subject in your graduation? You would have selected some other subject. You would have gone to some other subject like psychology. Why didn't you selected that?
So that's a very obvious question, sir. But mathematics, I see, sir, I was not able to perform well. But I see when I solved integration and differentiation in my class 12, I see a different level of mindset which was being developed in me. I think the reasoning capability and logical capability is increased by mathematics, sir. That's why I chose mathematics in my BSc again. But at last, on the last year of my graduation, I dropped maths and chose physics and chemistry.
Okay. Right. Suppose Anmol, one of my best friend comes to Allahabad and I am out of station for some urgent work. I ask you to receive him and give him a good hospitality. So tell me now, once you will be meeting him, what all places you would like to suggest him to visit in Allahabad?
Sir, Allahabad is a very nice place if you choose it as a visit area. Sir, it's a confluence of three rivers, Ganga, Yamuna and mythological Saraswati, which is very famous all over the world. Sir, Kumbh Mela, which has been organized every year, and after 12 years it has made very important. So I will make your best friend visit there because it's a very historic and it mentioned in Vedic books also. So I also like to make him a visit to Anand Bhavan, which is birthplace of Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. One of the 4 national museum in India is in Allahabad, that is Allahabad National Museum, side by which there is a Chandrasekhar Azad Park, which was where Shahid Chandrasekhar Azad shot himself. Sir, I would also like to make him visit Allahabad University, which was also called Oxford of the East, and the judicial capital, that is Allahabad, has also Allahabad High Court, which was established in 1867. So these are the many fine places I would like to make him visit.
Okay. So when you will be taking him to Allahabad University,
yes, sir.
Which department you would like to suggest him visit first?
Sir, I would like to make him visit arts faculty because it has a central academic area and a hall which is beautifully painted, and it has galleries and galleries which are very finely designed, and it has a very nice architecture, sir. I would like to make him visit there. And also, sir, side by which there is a chemistry faculty which is very large, and it has very fine architecture and organized hall, sir. That always attract me, so I'll suggest him that.
In which year you visited it first? Because you were a part of ECC college.
Yes.
It is affiliated college to Allahabad University. You had not been to the university. So which was the first which year you had visited this building?
Sir, actually I got to know about Allahabad University in my childhood, but I was not able to visit. When I was in NCC, some of my co-mates from Allahabad University just told me that there is very fine and big environment in our Allahabad University. You want to pay a visit. So then I was very excited about it. I just went with them in 2017. I paid a first visit to there in arts faculty. I visited the ground. I had a tea side by the physics faculty. It was very nice, sir. I also make a very fine bond with him. Next, side by that, there is a JK science faculty, which is basically training MCA and BTech students. So there I got to know that Allahabad University is very fine.
Okay. So if you will be getting any opportunity to make some improvement in your city, what all changes you would like to bring over there now?
So although my city is very changed after 2019, the Kumbh, but some changes are still to be made, like people are still littering their garbage around here, and people just need high up their morale about the clean places. That there is 2 times when Aral Ghat is being finally clean, but people are throwing litters there also. I want to just increase this morale in people, and also the welcoming attitude, the hospitality should be increased, because there is a massive crowd coming to our city in the 3 months of Kumbh.
Okay. So you have told me that every 12th year there is a Kumbh Mela organized in Mahakumbh Mela organized in Allahabad. So when will be the next Kumbh Mela will be organized in your city?
Sir, next Kumbh Mela will be in 2024. The 12th after 12 years it is being organized. In 2012 it was the Kumbh Mela, which was organized after 144 years. It was very auspicious occasion, and next would be 2024.
Next will be 2024.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now tell me, Anmol, as you have told me, you live in a family of 4 members. Excluding you, there are 3 other members in your family.
Yes, sir.
With whom you share your strongest bonding?
Sir, I share a strong bond with my mother, sir, because I'm always having her to listen to me, sir.
So what all qualities you appreciate in your mother? Tell me 2 such qualities. And I'm also interested in knowing 2 qualities which you don't like in your mother, or you would like to suggest to improve.
Sir, I like that my mother is very determined to her work, and she is very persistent and disciplined with her work. Sir, at the same time, she never takes care of herself and health. Sir, she is very taking lax in thinking about her health, but she is only concerned about us. And sir, sometimes she pens her work and do things about us, like if we want food, if we want to go out, she comes with us. But she sometimes pens her work, and that makes her do a lot of work at the same time, sir. So I want to improve that.
But since you share the strongest bonding with your mother is not bothered about her health.
Yes,
why don't you bother about her health? Since you told me she is more bothered about your health, you would have take care of her
Yes, I actually do. My mother is a sugar patient. I regularly take her to, in 4 months, I take her to the pathology lab and do her testing. I also, after waking up, I put some chana and moong for her so that could improve her health, and she is anemic, so that improves a lot in her. Sir, I also take care of her medication properly. I decide her schedule of the medication. So that's how I help her.
Okay. And since you are having an elder sister, what all things you had learned from her? What all qualities you appreciate in her?
Sir, my sister is a very dedicated person. She studies a lot. She has a lot of information with her. So she makes a special bond with people. She is a very friendly person. So I learned these things from her. I really observe her when she talks to people, and how funny she is when she talks to people. I admire her that way.
Mm-hmm. Now tell me something about your friends. How many friends you are having? Who is your best friend? What all qualities you appreciate in him? What all qualities he appreciates in you? If there is any dissimilarity, what dissimilarity you two people are having?
So I have a very large group of friends, though I have very fine friends, which I call them best friends. So I have Shreyansh, Ayushi, Shubham. So these three are my core friends. Sir, I like that Ayushi, that she improves a lot in me. I always I always do introspection, and after that I do not write my thoughts. She is very good in writing skills. She always write poetry. So she compels me to do writing and all those sort of things. So I really admire that from her. So Shreyansh is a person I admire because he got recommended from Allahabad board, and that really fascinated me and motivated me for doing things. He always motivates me, and the character he has, so that makes me feel better. So Shubham, my friend, is a BTech graduate, so he has a very good technological mindset. So I try to learn that from him, and so they also admire this, that I have a very fine communicational skill, and when I go outside I really make friends very readily. And I'm very adaptable in moments, and that they admire and they speak that to me. So something which are different with my friends is that Shubham and Shreyansh, they both eat non-veg. I don't eat that. I try to convince them that veg is more better, but they choose that only. And so, sir, mostly we are going on the same line, but these are the only differences I would like to count.
Okay, since you are having three friends with whom you share strong bond,
Yes.
But if you are in any problem, whom you would like to approach first?
So I would have liked to approach Shreyansh because he's living in the same city I am. Ayushi and Shubham are living in the different cities, Bangalore and Raebareli, so I'm not able to communicate them physically. So I would like to communicate to Shreyansh first.
Okay, so Anmol, tell me, which was the most memorable moment you had spent with Shreyansh till date?
Sir, recently we paid a visit to Varanasi. We were on the Assi Ghat at 6 a.m. We went there, we meditated for some times, and then we had a talk, and it was very fine talk. We improved a lot about ourselves, and we get to know many new things about our experience. So that was a very fine moment between us, sir.
Okay, apart from visiting Assi Ghat, what all other activities you had performed there? How you enjoyed your visit? Why you had selected Varanasi? Why you hadn't gone to some other place, any hill station?
Sir, exactly, sir. Shreyansh is a working person, so he gets only Sunday and Saturday for visits. So we planned to go on a bike trip to Varanasi. We exchanged our position in the during trip. We enjoyed a lot, and then we paid a visit to Kashi Vishwanath. We also selected not to go into hotel but to hostels because there are many new people that we can encounter with. We played foosball, sir. It was a very nice game. I win that game, and I was very enjoying that moment. And at night, sir, we were on the terrace of the hotel, and we did a very nice talk with some of the other people who were from Varanasi and Maharashtra. And sir, that's why I chose Varanasi, because it's just near to me, and it has very wonderful places and environment, sir.
Okay, so Anmol, as a youngster, how do you keep yourself physically fit?
Yes, sir, I mostly try to wake up at 5 a.m. Then I go to the ground. I do some jogging and meditation. And sir, I also somehow in weekends I go to do some running at the Rail Ghat, sir.
How much you run every day?
Sir, mostly I try to run 2 kilometers, and because I am not able to run very fast, so I slow my pace and do it.
Okay, how much time you take generally to cover 2 kilometers of distance?
So mostly it requires me 10 to 15 minutes to cover 2 kilometers, sir.
Okay. And what all activities after 10 to 15 minutes you perform to keep yourself physically fit?
So I go with my senior, so he's very physically active. He's a basketball player. So we run, and then he do stretching, and we also perform it. After that, we do some exercises. We walk on grass that helps our mind and clarity of vision. So then after we do some meditation, and then we go to home, sir.
Okay. So what I can see from your PIQ form, you were a NCC cadet. Tell me something about your experiences during your NCC participation. Which battalion you were in? How many commanding officers you had served under? Who was your favorite commanding officer? What all things you had learned from him? And what all qualities you had improved in yourself after participation in NCC?
Sir, I was a naval NCC cadet from Your Ncc College. Sir, sir, there are very fine moments in my NCC tenure, sir. I served under Lieutenant Commander Guha and Lieutenant Commander Captain Pandey. Sir, I learned many things in NCC. Sir, like in my last camp in PAC, there was no leader of my barrack. Sir, randomly, sir, asked persons. There were many persons raising their hand. But Sir Guha, Lieutenant Commander Guha, sir, told me to take charge. Sir, it was a very stressful day, but I performed very well. I have to put security on the barracks. I have to check all the water supplies and food security. I have to also took charges of the parades and the planning of the day, like sunset and sunrise. Sir, that's all increased my leadership quality and in discipline and planning ability. Sir, I learned mostly from Lieutenant Commander Guha that how he is very disciplined and he organizes his work, and he's very persistent in doing things, and he always listens to his cadets whatever problem they come up with.
Okay. So now tell me, Anmol, 3 ways of finding north without using compass.
Sir, firstly, it's sun. We can see to sun. Then we can locate that sun rises from east. So we can locate it from raising our 2 hands. The right hand would be pointing on the north, sir. Secondly, sir, in night we can also find by using polar star, pole star. Sorry, that could also give us some information about that.
You were senior under officer.
No, sir, I didn't have any rank. I was cadet.
You were cadet.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why you had not earned any rank in NCC?
Sir, sir, it's a mostly I would say in our college at that time there was I don't know actually the consequences, but there was some dispute between our ANO and the leading officer. I don't know about that, but not anyone of our cadet got the rank, sir.
But just now you told me that Lieutenant Commander Guha asked your commanding officer, who asked you to take charge.
Yes, sir.
But as a cadet, how you can take charge? Why he hadn't given you promotion? And he would have made you senior under officer. Why he hadn't?
So this could be a question, sir. At that point, there's also had a situation that one cadet from Lucknow told me that you are a rank of cadet. I am a senior officer. How could you take charge? So this has happened, but I don't know why he hasn't given me any rank. But I performed very well, sir. I don't know the consequences, but Lieutenant Commander Guha sir see something in me, and I don't know why he hasn't given the rank to me.
What all other camps you had attended during your NCC participation?
Sir, 2 CATCs, annual training camp, and I've also participated in national camp AIYR, All India National Yachting Regatta, INS Chilka.
Okay, tell me something about that camp, how interesting it was, why you were selected, what all achievements you had made there.
Sir, it was a very nice camp. We were very excited about the camp. Previously, from 1 month, there was an interview which was being conducted for many students. Approximately 15 of us were applied and only 6 got selected. Sir, I was also one of them. Then when we went to the camp, there was a swimming test because we have to perform in the Chilka Lake. It was a sail racing camp. And then I learned the sailing there. And sir, I ranked 14th in all the 17 directorate. And sir, in the second tenure of the race, I scored in 3 races. I scored 3rd position, 1st position, and the 2nd position.
Okay. So how many directorates are there in UP for NCC?
Sir, in my naval, there are only 3 directorates. First UP naval, that is in Allahabad, 3 UP naval in Lucknow, 7 UP naval in Varanasi.
Okay. Now a personal question to you, Anmol. You are a handsome graduate. You had enjoyed a very good life, a very good college life. You had been into NCC. You performed so well over there also. You are good into academics also.
Sir.
Do you have a girlfriend in your life?
So I didn't have a girlfriend now. I had a girlfriend previously, sir.
Why you left her?
So it was a mutual decision. That time when we were in college, we had a very fine friendship, and then it converted into some more infatuation. We got into a relationship. But after 2 to 3 months, she went to her hometown, and then we decided mutually that it shouldn't be working like that. We are still good friends, sir.
Okay, was it a love or was it an infatuation?
Sir, it was love.
It was a love.
Yes, sir.
Right, but you said me that it was infatuation.
Sir, firstly I thought of it, but after I broke up, I thought that it was a love. But I think I still have a chance after I get.
And when you realized that it was a love, why you hadn't tried to convince her later?
Sir, I tried to convince her, but I think at that point she was feeling that we could not be more meeting like that because she was living in Ghaziabad and I was not able to approach her. So we decided not to be in that mood. But later on, I think there is a chance there for me.
Okay. So what all qualities you appreciate in her? Do you recall her sometime when you remains alone? How do you overcome out of this situation then?
Sir, it has happened to me in 2 months that I have been thinking about those things. But I always try to remember her good qualities. She was very persistent. She has very good emotional intellect. And she was very technologically upgraded. She could handle people very finely. I like these qualities in her. When I'm alone, I just remember her fine qualities. That's what I concluded in 2 months after breakup, and that helps me a lot to improve myself, sir.
Okay. And when you recall her in last 2 months, in any kind of this situation, how do you overcome these situations then?
So there is nothing that demotivates me about her. So as I said, I try to remember her good qualities, and that improves me, that motivates me to do more. And I think if I'm good at any levels, so that's because of the 2 months after a breakup. And when I'm lonely, I think about those things only that motivates me all around. So there's nothing that I could overcome now.
Okay. Now, what is your sports participation? What all things you had achieved there? Tell me something about your participation in sports.
Sir, I played volleyball in my school and also in college. And sir, I have participated in inter-school competition where we lost in the finals, sir. And sir, I played casually volleyball in my college because I didn't have time after NCC and co-current activities, sir. I also been participating in swimming because I was a naval NCC cadet, so I did swimming, sir. In the Yamuna River, we used to cross the Yamuna River. I have crossed Yamuna River for 2 times, sir.
Oh, excellent. So how deep it is in the mid?
Sir, approximately people say it's 180 meters, 180 feet, and it's very deep. The Yamuna River is stagnant, and there are many fishes, but we did it because we had a very fine guidance of our seniors.
Okay. And since you are a swimmer, what is the basic difference between swimming in a swimming pool and swimming in a river?
Sorry, sir, there is a lot of difference between swimming in swimming pool and river. Sir, in swimming pool we know the definite height, the depth of it, and we are surrounded by lifeguards and people around it. But in river, it's a really real experience of how water is. Sir, sometimes when the boat passes away, we face some waves, and we also see it's deep, and then there is a sense of fear, but we have to conquer it. And sir, pool there, we can realize how long it is, and we can cover it. It's mostly 50 meters, but river is like Yamuna River was 150 meters long. Then we have to cover it, and it was a really different experience at that time. We felt about that also, that if we could be rescued or no, but we did, sir.
Very nice. So you were a volleyball player also. You had played for your school as well as for your college. Tell me how many players are there in the volleyball team, how long this court is, and I'm also interested in knowing 3 important terms used in volleyball game.
Sir, I played in school only for inter-school competition. There are 6 players in volleyball. And sir, the volleyball court dimension is 9 into 18 meters. So the length of the pole is 2.43 meters, and above that there is antenna which is 0.8 meters above the pole. Sir, there are very important terms like there is a player known as libero, which smash. I was a settler in the volleyball team. I used to put up the ball, and this libero used to plunge it down. Sir, there is also a back defender which is called defender spiker, which defends the ball when the ball comes to our court. Where that defends the ball and put up, and then the settler puts it again up, and the libero smacks it.
Okay, so Anmol, apart from your participation in NCC, your academics and your sports activities, what all other things you had performed in your life? What all achievements you had made there?
Sir, I have done. I was a part of a company known holywaters.in. It was being led by a person from Allahabad only. It was a student of my professor. So I was part of it. I was a tourist executive there. I paid a visit to many tourists in Kumbh Mela. I had also been part of marketing. I have done marketing in my college life only. I was very readily involved in organizing seminar for marketing. I have also been part of co-curricular activities like doing skit and organizing farewell and freshers.
And what are the memorable responsibilities you had ever held in your lifetime?
Sir, one of the thing that I would like to mention here is when I was a tourist executive, I met an Israeli citizen. Sir, firstly, I learned that the tourists are not very much into the work and they just try to visit things lightly. But one of the Israeli guy that named Orel was very interested in army, military, and he was very much knowing about the environment. When we went to a shop, and I thought he was only speaking English, but he asked about the sabun hai. When I heard this, that he knows Hindi, I got to know that people are very intelligent out there, and Israeli people are especially not fearing the situation and know very deep about this. And sir, when I was doing marketing, there had been a situation where I was organizing a seminar and it was cancelled because the hall was occupied and they were not letting us give in the hall. Sir, there I talked to a manager there and I convinced him for the next date.
As a youngster, Anmol, how do you keep yourself updated with general knowledge?
Sir, mostly I watch videos on YouTube and I try to read newspaper.
Okay, tell me 2 channels which you follow on YouTube.
Sir, it's Beyond, and there is a channel from Harshit Dwivedi which tells daily analysis of newspaper.
What is this Beyond channel?
So Beyond is an international channel which is owned by Z Media, and there is an anchor which named Balki Sharma Upadhyay. I regularly watch her. She's a very fantastic news reader.
So tell me one recent international news, and I'm also interested in knowing 2 recent national level news.
Sir, international news is mostly the heated moment about Ukraine and Russia crisis. The NATO are helping at the crisis. Russia has deployed its army, armored forces, and all those things.
Why this dispute is basically?
Sir, because after the Soviet Union was divided into many countries, Russia.
In which year it was divided?
Sir, it was divided in 1990.
Okay.
I'm not sure about it. I think it's 1990. And then Ukraine was also the part of Soviet Union. Russia still thinks that some portion of the land is still belongs to Russia. Though Russia claims that it is just for security purpose. That the US is claiming some security rights and security restriction for Russia. That's why it's deploying military. But I think this issue is much more than that.
Okay.
And sir, some national news is that Smriti Mandhana recently got all-rounder player of the year this year only in men's and women's also, and so I'm not able to recall next news.
Okay. Now tell me, whenever you get free time, what all activities you are involved into? How do you spend your spare time or leisure time?
Sir, mostly in evening I use my time with my friends. I try to read books, and I'm very interested in playing harmonica, sir.
Okay. So what type of books you enjoy reading?
So I try to read some personality development book, motivational book, some financial education book, and spirituality.
Which is your favorite book?
So currently I'm reading Yogi, the autobiography of Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. I think this is going to be my favorite book.
Mm-hmm. What is the specialty of this book? What do you have read? What do you have extracted from this book?
Sir, it's a story of a yogi who has been knowing this intuition that he is going to be sent one day. Sir, he practiced yoga. He traveled many places in India, and he follows people blindly. When he is devoted to his guru, he is very disciplined in that. He does daily yoga, and sir, the way he communicates people and the way his personality is designed in that book, sir, I really like that.
Okay, Anmol, on your holidays, generally, what is your routine?
Sir, when it's a holiday, sir, mostly I wake up at 5 a.m. mostly because I have to put the milk can on the line. Then after I do the jogging, and when there is a holiday, my father is at home. Then when we mostly eat poha with him, we try to chit chat him with him, and he told us experience about how was his weekend and all of these things. My mother is also there, so we try to communicate. And in the evening we do dinner together. And previously that we paid a visit to Sangam mostly and do the dinner outside, sir.
Okay, you had a bright career outside. You were a science student. You completed your graduation. You were a good sportsman. You are good in swimming. You would have opted any career. Losing or leaving all those options, why you had selected armed forces as your career now?
Sir, I think it's a very important thing that I would like to make a note, sir. When my maternal grandfather was very ill, I see a spirit of a soldier in him, that he was really motivated to live, really motivated to do exercises and bring him back to his normal life, sir. That spirit really motivated me to join armed forces. Also, sir, I like trekking, adventurous activities, and armed forces are the only option for me to live a life less ordinary.
Tell me, how many commands are there in Indian Army? Where is Southwestern Command of Indian Army?
Southwestern Command is, I'm sorry, I'm not able to.
What are qualities you find in yourself at present which ensures your selection in selection board now?
Sir, although I have performed very well in all of the other tasks, but I think, sir, I have had experience in NCC of being a leader there. I have had experience of planning things perfectly. That's what required in armed forces, and punctuality, which is needed at that time in the armed forces. So I think all those qualities motivate me to join armed forces, and I think for surely I am quality for all the officers.
Okay. If not recommended by selection board, what are other career options you have in your life then?
Sir, by chance, I think there is no chance that I won't get recommended. But if I was not able to get recommended this time, sir, I have chance to. I have applied for TISNET, that Tata Institute of Social Sciences, for doing a course in masters and in internship and social work. And sir, also I have applied for courses like human resources and labor management. And sir, I have also chosen option like I would go for CAPF, Central Armed Police Forces, and that's the two options I have selected till now.
You were a science student, and why you have selected a masters in human resources then?
So I think next in the line of priorities, first priority being armed forces. Second, I think I would be very much efficient and very good working in marketing, sir. So that's why I have chose master in entrepreneurship and social work.
Right. So I enjoyed my conversation with you, Anmol. Would you like to ask me any question at last?
No, sir, that's okay.
Wish you very good luck.
Thank you, sir.